Hello, welcome to Fun with Watches. If watches weren't fun, you'd only need one. Today we're going to review the Benyar 5219M. And here it is. And this is a pretty good looking watch for Benyar. I've been very pleased with it. I think Benyar kind of stepped up their game with this one.
It's time for fun with watches with your friend, the Watchdog. If watches weren't fun, you'd only need one. It's time for fun with watches.
Let's start off the wrist check. I'm wearing this G-Shock GAV01 Alien Eyes. I just reviewed this watch. If you haven't seen the review yet, be sure to check it out. And Grego is wearing my North Edge Triton in titanium. I just unboxed this watch. If you haven't seen the unboxing video yet, be sure to check it out. Grego said that the new show he is watching on Disney Plus, Jedi Joe, a real Alderaanian hero, introduced a new character called Sergeant Fodder. He is killed in every episode. I said, how can he die in every show? Grego said they just clone a new version of him every episode. All right, let's take a look at the watch. Here it is. Comes in a. This is the first time I've ever seen a Benyar in this style of box. So I wonder if Benyar finally realized that they shouldn't keep a whole stack full of magnets next to their automatic watches. But here it is, and this is a really good looking watch. I've been very pleased with it. And yes, it looks a lot like an IWC Engineer, but it doesn't. It has enough differences where IWC can't go after Benyar like they did with Ixtao. Another Benyar on my channel, and another somewhat homage to the IWC Engineer, but not a complete homage because IWC apparently has gone after Chinese homage companies when looking too much like their design, and thus the dial pattern is completely different, and the round bezel lacks the 5 little screws. Thankfully, they can't patent fence post hands or an H-link bracelet. Benyar makes chrome-plated alloy watches with mineral glass crystals and gets a lot of flack because it usually says all stainless steel on the case back, but in this case, at least they left out the word all. Benyar claims that the case back is indeed stainless steel, but that is why you need guys like me reviewing the watches that the other guys won't touch. This watch comes in 4 different dial colors, all with the same case and bracelet. I chose the blue because that is what I do. If you prefer the other colors, there's also black, green, or white. The watch is 39.3 millimeters if you measure at the bezel, but 40 at the case. It's 45.7 millimeters long with inverted end links, and they do articulate a little bit. It's 13 millimeters thick, which isn't too bad. Lug width does not apply, but 25 millimeters where the bracelet meets the case and tapers down to 17 at the clasp. Yes, I said that right, 17. And it weighs 135 grams on the solid steel bracelet with 2 links removed. The bezel's nice. It's brushed, and even though this is a plated alloy, it looks good because a lot of times a plated alloy brush just looks horrible, but they did a pretty good job with this one. So I'm been pleased with the finish. And then we have the dial itself. And we have this pattern here. And once again, this pattern is different than the IWC. And this keeps Benyar from getting cease and desist letters from the IWC. Then we have the Benyar name and logo up top. It says automatic on the bottom. No mention of water resistance. You only get your 30. And then we have the indices. And they're batons, but they have the little edges, or they go to a point, so they're more like little trapezoids. And we got a double at the 12, and then we have fence post, minute and hour hand, and then we have a needle second hand. Then we have a date at the 3 with no border, and there's no cyclops. Then we have a sign push-pull crown. And then we have these crown guards that keep it protected, and they do a pretty good job there. Crystal is just mineral glass. You're not going to get sapphire on a Benyar usually. And then we have the case. Case is a plated alloy, and it's brushed, but once again, just like the bezel, they did a really nice job on the brushing for a plated alloy. So if I was to tell you this was steel, that you might just believe me, but it's not steel. And then we have the case back. Case back's a press-on. It's not a screw down, and you only get 30 meters of water resistance. But it is a display. It says Benyar, gives the model number 3ATM with a little fish next to it. And then it says stainless steel. Once again, it doesn't say all stainless steel like most Benyar casebacks do, which is kind of nice. Underneath the case back is the BY-5219 movement. This is a Chinese-made movement for Benyar. I can't imagine Benyar actually makes this movement. I'm sure it's some kind of other brand, but they call it their own movement. And it's a 4 hertz movement. That means it ticks 8 times a second. So that's why you see that really smooth sweep there. And I don't know the joule count, and I don't know the power reserve, but it is a unidirectional rotor, not a bidirectional, so it spins freely in one direction. Some people complain about that because of the rotor noise. I don't really care. So let's go ahead and put it on the time grapher and see how it's doing. Here it is on the time grapher, and as you can see, it's running about 10 to 14 seconds fast, which isn't too bad considering. And there's a tiny bit of beat error, 0.1 milliseconds. I do not know the left angle of this movement, so ignore the amplitude. I don't know if it's correct or not, but I have it set to the default of 52 degrees. But no, not bad. Oh yeah, I didn't mention too, the movement does hack. See, it hacks. Then we have the bracelet. Bracelet's nice. It's a true H-link. A lot of these cheaper ones are not true H-links, but this one is. And we have push pins, not screw pins. I'm perfectly happy with push pins. And then the end links go into the case, and they actually do articulate a little bit, but not a lot. But the bracelet's nice. Unfortunately, it's not the most flexible, but that just seems to be common with this style of H-link. Then we have a butterfly clasp, push button. It's fine, does the job. There is no micro adjust on this watch, but the links aren't that big, so you should be able to get a good fit. And the center links are polished, and the H ones are brushed, and it looks really nice. Here's the watch and my 7.5-inch wrist. That looks nice. That wears nice. There's a little bit of gap there because the case back does stick out just a little bit. I removed 2 links to fit on my wrist. And so if your wrist is much bigger than 8, you're not going to be able to wear this watch without more links. And I don't know if you can ask for more links or not. I've never tried on a Benyar before, because I never need more links. So if somebody's had experience asking for more links from one of these Benyars before, let me know. Here we are in the lume room. When it comes to lume, Benyar isn't exactly steel dive, so let's not get too excited about this test. As we sweep the time, we see a nice blue glow, but unfortunately there isn't much legs to this as everything is fading fairly fast. At least the hands outshine the indices, if just barely. This is not good lume. What I like about this watch, it looks and wears nice. It has a 4 hertz automatic movement. I really like this textured dial. And I think it's really nicely brushed and finished considering it's a plated alloy and not steel. What are my gripes and groans? The lume is just plain bad. The H-link bracelet isn't the most flexible in the world. It has a press-on case back with only 30 meters of water resistance, and the bracelet's too short. I only removed 2 links. Do I recommend this watch? Sure. This is one of the best looking Benyars I've ever reviewed, and I think you will be happy with it. Well, thank you for watching my review of the Benyar BY-5219, and I will be back with another review. Be sure and like and subscribe to my channel. And be sure to like and subscribe to my new channel, Fun with Watches Shorts, because I guess I was mistaken. I don't need 500 subscribers to monetize. I need 1,000. So, and I'm only at 40 right now. So I need a lot more subscribers to my Shorts channel before I can monetize. And if you like this watch, be sure to use my affiliate link in the description and I'll get a tiny commission, but those tiny commissions do add up. And that's how I can get some of the nicer watches on my channel, such as this G-Shock here. And I'd like to thank my Members Choice members. Last time I looked, there was 12 of you. And I will be reviewing the Members Choice watch soon. And members get a week-long head start on that review. Bye.